In this movie I'll be showing you the ethical wall. We are now seeing the admin interface of the product. Let's start by going into the setting to set up the model. So there are many settings related to different features of the product. And if I go to the ethical wall, I will first need to enable it. I'll need to decide of the location of the filter, edge, front end or both, depending on the exact requirement. I'd need to decide whether I want to take advantage of contact list based rules, which is the traffic scope to be filtered. Typically it will be external, but companies are also using this to segregate internal communication. And other features I can point out is the way to notify the admin, email, log, or IM, or any other combination, as well as for the end user. So once the ethical wall is set up, we then go to the ethical wall rules. If we have a look at the rule, a typical rule, it is based on two steps. One is the conditions. Conditions can be set on groups which are fetched from your Active Directory. So here I can choose my relevant group. I can either enter a specific domain or even a specific SIP address. And on the other side, when talking about external, so it's either domain or SIP, and if it's internal, you can also work with groups. So once these conditions are met, we set the relevant policy. So the policy covers any Skype for Business option or modality like chat, audio, video, and so on. And for each option, you can set what should be the action taken when these conditions are met. It could be allow, block, or unset. And you can also set a direction for the rule, for the action. For example, here A, which is the sales, can send files to Intel, but Intel cannot send files internally to my sales team. And if I leave something unchecked, like here, the engine will continue scanning the rules from top to bottom. You can also reorder the rules to apply to fit your policy, eventually ending up with your default rule. In my system is block almost everything. And we can also see here the contact card, which has another additional tab allowing you to set exactly which values you want to hide or show when federating. I can also mention that we have a different set of rules to conversation, which means one-on-one or peer-to-peer, from the conference policy, which might be set differently. We have the other tools in the system more towards troubleshooting. We have the ethical wall calculation. So here each policy that is calculated is registered here, and you can see based on which rules which was this policy returned. It can be a combination of several rules, and this is done for performance reason, for caching. And once the policy is calculated, it is cached in this table. So here you can see the caching of the different policy, and you can set for how long should this cache be relevant for, depending on how frequently you change the rules and groups and other parameters. There's also an ethical wall auditing table here. In my system it's empty, but typically everything that is blocked is registered here in the auditing table. Thank you very much for your time.